Hi, I'm John Gibson. I'm my mom's son. I have notes. I haven't prepared my speech, but the cool thing about these is I wrote it on her notepads. It says, "A note from Margaret Gidminson," so that's what I consider this. So I was going to share a little bit about her last days when she was in hospice. It was very hard, hospice. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but there is a certain beauty in it, in that you have this time that you know the person's going, and you have the time to share and say goodbye. And it's kind of, I would say, almost spiritual. And she did a few things when she got home. She ordered some books. A little later, she realized, well, maybe she shouldn't order them. She balanced her checkbook. And then she had a nice lunch with Donna. And that was, she really picked up with that. And they solved all the church's problems. Even there in the end, she was a very positive person. And I think about this in terms of my friends, because my friends always said, "You got the best mom. She's so nice," And then I realized it in that time that, even though she knew her life was going to end, she was positive about it. And she did that in the hospital where she said, "I accept it. I'm going to die." My sister had a hard time. She thought maybe she should fight some more for it, but she knew it was time and she accepted it. And I think if we could all do that, it would be great. So when she started, what she would do is sing songs while she was there. And a couple of them were, she sang, "You're a good man, Charlie Brown." She did the Hallelujah chorus. Hallelujah. She did that a lot. And she did one from The Sound of Music, which what I would do is play music for her too, because she seemed to really like that. Because as she went through it, talking was much harder, but it seemed like emotional things like touch and music were much, much better. And so she was singing from The Sound of Music. Oh, we got one more glasses. "So Long, Farewell" seemed appropriate. And then she would sing hymns that I didn't know, but she knew them very well. I think, we lost a lot of knowledge there when she left. She taught me almost everything I know. And the nice thing about my mom was I could ask her any question and she could answer it, just about. She'd do great on Jeopardy. We always said she'd go on, but she said her reflexes weren't good enough. But then, she also she would say things, and it was very strange sometimes, the things that she said. But there was one thing she said, and the other thing is, it was kind of hard too. The other thing about hospice was, I was sleeping upstairs with her. Oh man, I was going to say this too, is that at the hospital she kept saying, "Oh, you live with your sons?" And she'd say, "No, they live with me." So I was there and I started sleeping upstairs because she was and the first night she fell down. And so then after that it was like, and so we find if anybody goes in, we figured a really good way to do it. We had a hospital bed and we put her bed in there too. So then she couldn't fall because it was all bed. So I would sleep in there with her just to, and so she would wake up and she would say things. And one of the things she said was, "Another name for God is water." And I found that, well, for one thing, I'm a surfer. I found that pretty profound. But I think it's on other levels, you think about water and what it means to life. It is something. So the other thing that was interesting, there was some weird stuff happening. For one thing, she had this friend from when she was a social worker, and she sent her an email early on in the year, and her friend had never responded to her throughout the year. And then after she perked up with Donna's meeting, I had her call her so she could tell her. And her friend really, said, you should be fighting this, why are you letting go, and stuff like that. But then her friend finally sent her an email, and in it, reminiscing on all the things that they had done together, but also kind of saying, letting her go. And it was funny because it was right when that email came that she passed. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that was really weird, the next morning, our internet wouldn't work. And I think that's because she wanted us to call everybody so we wouldn't email. But that morning after she passed, I woke up about 5:30, and I went outside, and I looked in the eastern sky, and I saw the little fingernail of a moon. And the next day after that, there was no moon at all. But then a couple days later, I would look out from our kitchen window, as I would with her a lot of times, and look at the glowing of the day falling behind the horizon. And there was another little fingernail of the moon smiling down at me. And I knew waxing was going to occur. And it gave me some comfort. And, though my mom, she is here no more. I love my mom very much. And she loved me so greatly. And I think all of you that you've shown up here, you love my mom too. And she loved you. And that